Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one for you this morning. Today, we're going to cover some very, very interesting topics. For one, is the last day for a very important petition. We're going to get into that. Binance comes under fire from the Department of Justice and the IRS. MoneyGram touts their Ripple relationship and partnership that they had, even though that's over with now, and some other good news there too. Coinbase records really great numbers and they are expanding their offering. And I think a lot of people are going to be happy about what they're adding. But if you're an XRP guy or girl, I don't know that that's the case. Now, we're going to also look at news that the U.S. pipeline and the cyber attack that went on to that. I think there could be a narrative that's tied to distributed ledger technology. Julia Chatterley and Anthony Pompliano, and in a very important 50 seconds. If you'll ever watch anything in your life, you're going to want to watch that. And obviously, we'll also talk about what the analysts are saying about the XRP price. Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful intro. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here. Make sure you do follow us on Twitter. There's a lot of news that we share on Twitter that doesn't quite make the videos here, but we do try to keep the headlines on the videos for sure for you. Looking at this right now, we are 2.3 trillion for the cryptocurrency market cap collectively. We saw 2.5 just a day or so ago, and that was an impressive number. It tells me that the majority of the money is staying in the market, even though the market is still bleeding heavily based on some of the fundamental news, which we're going to talk about here. Yesterday, we covered that Elon Musk has now said he's not going to accept Bitcoin for Tesla vehicles, and that was an important blow to Bitcoin, and there is more to follow. And again, we're going to cover that. Let's look at the price right now for Bitcoin, holding just above $50,000 right now. It's off by more than 10.7% on the 7-day. Ethereum, just under $4,000 at the moment. It's up 15.39% on the 7-day. Coming down to number 7 spot, XRP 139 is what we're looking at right now. We're up 6.37% on the 24-hour. We have an important number, support number, we're looking for today. We're going to want to pay attention to see if we hit that. We are off 16.39% on the 7-day on that number. Now, okay, by the way, just to note, CoinMarketCap still has not corrected what has been called or deemed a bad data feed. We're going to try to get into that in another video, whether it's today or tomorrow. I am talking with someone that I consider very knowledgeable on the subject, and we're going to see if we can't get a resolution. I'll try to put a video together on that when we do. Right now, looking at the price at 139, we're ranging between 123 and 141. What say you? Well, what say me is that what I see and what I've learned from the technical analysts and the experts that study the charts, the way that we study fundamental news, 122 was a real support line. So if we held that just above at 123 at the range, I can see where we would be looking to test upward from here. But it doesn't mean the price still won't roll back, but we will keep a close eye on it. Now let's get into the news this morning. To me, this is big news. If you don't know, I think I've mentioned it on the show before, but Casino Coin is a coin that I hold. Just full disclosure here. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not being paid to promote this, but I do want to show full disclosure. I do hold this coin, and I'm excited that it's going to be on the ledger, and it is on the XRP ledger now, and it's backlisted on BitTrue. So shout out to BitTrue and everything that they're doing. All right, now let's go here. This is Hall of Famer Michael Val 5 links right here. And it says, on its latest earnings call, Coinbase revealed that it made $771 million in the first quarter of the year. Now, that is a lot of money. I don't care whose house you're at. And here we see that Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong went on to say that the exchange will list Dogecoin soon. And it looks like about a 6 to 8 week window there. Now, what's that going to do for Dogecoin? The exchange went public on NASDAQ last month and briefly hitting the valuation of $100 billion. If I'm not mistaken, 283. There it is, the previous close. So that's where we are for the Coinbase stock, is $283. If you'll remember, when it was listed on Link2, it was listed on Link2 before it was available for public offering, and the people on Link2 were paying $31 or $32 for Coinbase, and now it's $283. That's why I tell you guys all the time about Link2, and go to link2.com, sign up for private investing made simple, find out if you're accredited or not, and if you are, you will be able to get some of these amazing blockchain crypto companies and so much more that they have there. Make sure you check them out. Okay, now let's keep this moving here, because this is Jeremy Hogan from Legal Briefs. Shout out to you, my friend. Today is the latest day, or I'm sorry, today is the last day to sign the petition asking Gary Gensler to end the SEC Ripple lawsuit and instead work with the crypto industry to develop rules and regulations that everyone can understand. You only have a couple hours left, so hurry up. And look, if it's still available, and I haven't checked it, but I know I've signed it, so make sure that you sign it too. And I also believe that, they need to do an investigation on Jay Clayton and William Hinman and find out what's going on there. Now, that's a whole nother matter too, but I certainly believe that would be good government money spent looking at that problem. So look here, this is the Colonial Pipeline, and it has begun operating normally again after paying $5 million ransom in crypto to bad actors who digitally hijacked the pipeline's controls. This to me goes to a narrative here that everything needs to be on a distributed ledger technology, right? A DLT system, blockchain technology, because we need to find out how these things happen. We need to find out who these hijackers are. And I believe that this narrative sets the tone for us to change the financial system, whether it's the Colonial Pipeline or whether we're talking about the digital dollar or whatever the case is. This is where the world is moving to, right? And we see here, this to me fascinates me because they literally had to pay the ransom, right? And it's not good for crypto that these bad actors wanted to be paid in crypto, right? Thinking that they can get around this. I hope that they get caught. And I hope that we see all the financial systems, whether it be the Colonial Pipeline or the central banking system or what have you, I think it is imminent and it is inevitable that we will move to some kind of distributed ledger technology to be able to minimize or at least stop these things from happening. And I think in most cases, they will be able to stop this stuff from happening. So looking here, Binance is reportedly under investigation by both the United States Department of Justice and the Internal Revenue Service in an apparent effort to stymie illegal trading activity from users in the United States. Oh, if you're using one of those VPNs to hide where you are and you have an account on Binance, now we're not talking about Binance US. That is a completely different company. And that is Brian Brooks. That is legit. What we're talking about is CZ's Binance Malta. And if you are a U.S. resident on here and you are doing some kind of illegal trading activities, you may want to shut that down. Okay, that's just a little word from the wise here. And what CZ Binance gets out in front of this and basically says on Twitter that the crypto exchange was collaborating with the law enforcement agencies to fight bad actors or bad players rather than seemingly being targeted of any potential investigation. We will watch out. He does say that this has no teeth as it pertains to Binance, but trying to clean up illegal trading activity from U.S. residents and working in conjunction with those two agencies. We will see how that unfolds. Here is something else that is unfolding. With the Ripple lawsuit and the SEC, I find it fascinating that so much XRP is moving all around all the time. Here's another example of this here. Ripple fintech behemoth has helped Binance and a few other leading exchanges to move a whopping 101.5 million XRP around. There's not much more to glean from this article, so I'm not going to show it to you. But the truth is that I don't know where this is going. I don't know. You don't know where all of this is going. I have to wonder if this is a huge hashtag relist positioning at some point to bring it back to the exchanges in a full offering. And imagine what would happen to XRP if it gets back on all the exchanges it was on prior to the SEC lawsuit, which I believe is completely erroneous. But nevertheless, there it is. Now, here's a great person in this space, and it's John E. Deaton. As always, he says, thank you to Bank XRP, and I thank him too for providing evidence that brings truth into light. Ripple and XRP have been amazingly resilient considering the dark cloud overhang of the SEC lawsuit. Ripple stated in their memorandum that XRP liquidity in the U.S. has been greatly reduced, and that's exactly right. Well, listen to this. This is MoneyGram CEO Alex Holmes, who talks about Ripple in the announcement that they are partnering with CoinMe, and they are working with them because they're going to allow MoneyGram customers to be able to buy and sell crypto working with CoinMe through the MoneyGram platform. And that's pretty incredible, but it does come up about how he felt about working with Ripple. Listen to what he says here.
Gentlemen, Alexander, this isn't your first foray into crypto. Of course, you had a deal with Ripple. Is this a replacement of that? That deal has fallen apart, I guess. Is this a replacement of that deal?
Not really at all. What we were doing with Ripple was very different. And actually, we were looking at Ripple and utilization of their ODL product and RippleNet to think about the actual flow of the funds, right? With what we're doing with Neil and CoinMe, this is much more about moving fiat into the CoinMe wallet, if you will, and then allowing consumers to buy Bitcoin once it's in the CoinMe network. After that, they can obviously trade Bitcoin, do what they want with Bitcoin, and then if they want cash back, they can actually then sell that in the CoinMe network and then pull that out in cash into the MoneyGram network and into your pocket. So from that perspective, it's totally varying. It's unfortunate what happened with Ripple. It was a great pilot for us and really moved us, I think, progressively forward in blockchain and sort of what was happening in the crypto world. And obviously with the challenges that they're facing today with the SEC and government regulation, which continues to be a big topic in the crypto space, it made it very difficult to continue to operate, particularly in the United States. But we'll see where that goes down the road. And I do think that there is a continued future and an opportunity in blockchain and perhaps in crypto as well, in terms of, ledgers and movements and settlement and flow of funds.
There you go. Alex Holmes setting the record straight here. He's like, hey, we loved working with them, and I hope that we get to do it again someday if we can get the regulation straight in the United States. It was just literally, we have to part ways until the lawsuit is straight and we get the clarity that we need, because basically what he acknowledged here, Ripple was for back-end use on the flow of payments. What is offered here with this CoinMe deal is a front-end retail offering, and that is very positive too. Neither one of these things are like one another at all, is what he's saying here. So very, very important piece there from Alex Holmes and the relationship with Ripple. Now, here's something from Ratha Kahneman, also combined with the efforts of Leonidas from back in the day as well. A new Ripple partner, Money Platform, now lists Ripple as a partner by name on their website. Here it is right here. But the part to remember is Leary Holdings, a Ripple partner that Leonidas discovered at Swell 2019, seems to be the parent company of Money Platform. So not entirely new, but located in Hong Kong, he says. So shout out to both of those gentlemen for that information. And isn't it amazing that they can still be growing and still be acquiring customers around the world while dealing with the nonsense from the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, right? Absolute nonsense. And I think this will get cleared up sooner rather than later. Let's keep this moving here, because we also see this. Boom. Elon Musk, Mr. Bitcoin, Mr. Dogecoin says it's high time there was a carbon tax. I'm pretty sure we talked about this, ladies and gentlemen. The idea that the government or market regulators would come in and deal with proof of work for assets like Bitcoin and slap a carbon tax on them because of the exorbitant amount of energy and electricity consumption to be able to mine the assets computationally, right? Now, we know for a fact, just full disclosure, there are many large firms that are looking to do renewable, sustainable energy in places like Texas to mine Bitcoin. So just trying to level playing field here, right? But the reality is if you hold Bitcoin and they do bring in a carbon tax, and by the way, what was suggested, if I remember correctly, by the World Economic Forum, and there's a gentleman down here, RJ Gonzalez, shout out to you, my friend, who reminded us of what we covered a couple months ago, I believe it was, when it was suggested that they use $127 per ton of consumption, I believe it was, or something of that nature, which turned out to be about $20,000 tax per Bitcoin purchased. Well, at $50,000 a Bitcoin, add 20 or take 20 away from that, right? However you want to look at it, it is not good. And I don't know that that will be the official number, but that is a number that has been floated. And I think it was the World Economic Forum, or there was some legitimate source that was floating that number out there. And it is a massive number. If you hold Bitcoin, as anything with any crypto, buyer beware. Here's another moment from buyer beware. This is Stuart XRP from this XRP space right here. Good to see you, Stuart. This is Julia Chatterley interviewing Anthony Pompliano. And I have to say, she is probably one of the best journalists to date in the mainstream media, because she just brings it home here. Listen to this very important 50 seconds of Anthony Pompliano going from that smug smile to I just can't answer the question.
I was looking for it. Cambridge University did a big study, and I've read it. I guess some of the criticism that will instantly come is 65%, I believe, around of Bitcoin is mined in China. And whether they're using renewable or not, it's tough to verify. Do you accept that that is a challenge here in terms of verification of the data? But also, even if we're just talking about digital assets in general, there are cleaner energy versions, Ether, for example, XRP, not mined. Is that a fact that we can stick to at this moment?
Look at the look on his face right here. Ether, XRP. First of all, I find it amazing that she said XRP, which is incredible. And she knows, Julia Chatterley knows. I don't find it amazing of that part. Mainstream media is what she represents. And she's saying XRP without one hesitation here. Keep listening.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big things here, right, is to remember that money is energy. It's stored energy. And so you need some conversion of energy to have money be valuable.
But you didn't answer my question. There is cleaner digital assets than Bitcoin. We're clear on that. And I think that's important for people to understand, whether you love Bitcoin or not, or you like other digital assets or not. I was looking for it.
There it is. There are cleaner assets out there. We're clear on that. Right? That's all there is to it. We're clear on that. And I tell you what, shout out to her for not letting him off the hook and saying, you didn't answer the question. And you know what? The reality is there are. And now the question you have to ask, if you're holding Bitcoin, or even if you're not, what happens to Bitcoin when that very real fact, which is undeniable, becomes so clear to the investors of the world that put their money into this asset, start putting their money into something like XRP because they know it's more efficient, scalable, more use case, full scale intended use. They get all of it. And it doesn't hurt the world as far as, electric consumption, the carbon footprint's damn near neutral. So the truth is what happens to Bitcoin when it gets flipped in market cap and it's no longer number one? What happens to the coin then? Because we know that it's really just brand awareness. It is not efficient. I just had someone send 1.5 Bitcoins and send me a screenshot, which I'm going to keep their stuff private. I'm not going to share it with you, but I saw it for myself. Over $4,000 to move 1.3 or 1.4 Bitcoin, whatever it was. They paid over $4,000 to move that Bitcoin. If that's the internet of value, I don't want it. Let's keep going here because it doesn't stop. The fun doesn't stop. Can XRP stand to gain from Tesla dumping Bitcoin payments? You better damn sight believe they can. We don't even need to get down into the article on this one. Obviously we can. Again, to my point, when the world figures out that it's easier and cheaper and more efficient in every single way and secure and scalable, Bitcoin's going to lose its luster at some point here. And it doesn't mean it won't be around long term, but it's not going to be number one forever. Do you still have your first cell phone? Do you still use your first iPad? Do you still use the first pager? What happened to the BlackBerry? I think we got it covered. Now let's go on and talk about price, because I know everybody wants to know. This is Dark Defender who's laying it down and has been spot on along with Crypto Wizard, Crypto Bull 2020, right? And so many others. Terra is another one you should be following. So many others. Coins Kid is amazing. It's really, there's so many others out here that we really bounce off of to find out what's going on with the technicals to complement the fundamental news that we follow here every single day. I want to shout out to Dark Defender and all those others that were mentioned here and any that I forgot. If you check your early analysis, you would see most of the people were skeptical about XRP analysis going beyond 33 cents. And he's absolutely right. And it was the same at 50 cents. And they told us we wouldn't cross $1. Now it's $1.33. And this morning we know we're at $1.40, $1.39. I will write the same and the similar in the future when XRP would struggle around $2.72 and at $13. In other words, these targets are well in play. $2.72, $13 XRP. They're not off the table, but we do have to pay attention to where we find support. We know that we need to break through the resistance at 144 to push to 156 and then beyond to 166. If we don't hit those marks and get above them, then we know we're going to look to pull back to 133 and possibly 126 or 113. These are all still in play for everywhere we're going, right? So I shout out to them, and I appreciate each and every one of them, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to make sure that you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and share with somebody you know. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. They are trusted, vetted links. And I want to shout out to Barbara, who told me to tell people, watch out for scams. Whether you receive an email from a Coinbase or a Ledger or any of other, these popular companies out here, and you may have an account, when you receive something from something you're associated with, you're best off to receive that email or that text message and assume that it is fraudulent first, and then prove to yourself that it isn't. What I normally do, just as a word to the wise here, if I receive something from somebody who's claiming to be an exchange that I'm working with, I assume it's fraudulent, and I go to the exchange and I take whatever information that is, and I usually contact the exchange directly through the exchange and ask them if they sent me something. That's how I start that game. So make sure you do that with whatever it is. And if you get in that discipline of doing that, I think that helps keeps us all a little bit safer out here. That's going to do it for me. I'll talk to you on the next one.